Hi guys, welcome to Dose of Pink. I'm your host Esther, and for today's episode we'll be talking about how complaining is just drawing you away from God's blessings from your life and how it's not beneficial in your life and how you need to eliminate complaint from your life.
Hi, I'm Amaya. I'm your co-host for Dose of Pink. We're going to be talking about a topic that affects us all, complaining. It's something I do daily and I'm struggling with, but I'm trying to work towards.
But isn't it really crazy how we all just fall into a habit of complaining a lot? Mm-hmm. It's just our daily habits. Just today drained me.
Yes.
Stuff like that. We don't immediately go into positivity. It's more of negativity.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely become a habit. Every single day I'm going around just I have to do this, I have to do that. Oh, I didn't sleep, I didn't do this.
I feel we just need to switch that from why am I here to I'm grateful that I'm here.
Yeah.
And an example of how I've just been complaining a lot was recently, I was so close to dropping out from school because I was just complaining a lot. I was like, why do I have so much homework? Why do I have this? I don't want to do this. Why am I studying so much? And it's just I just needed to see the positive side of it. Then I'm grateful that I'm in college. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to go to college. I'm grateful that I could pay for college. I'm grateful that I have the resources for college. I'm just grateful that I have amazing professors that could pour into me and so I can pour into other people. It's just shifting your mindset from the negative lens that the devil tries to put upon you and just looking at it from a godly perspective. Meaning that you're shifting that from a positive sector to a negative sector to a positive.
I think I'm definitely the wrong friend to talk about because I was with her during all of this and I was just you should just leave college.
Yeah.
It's so terrible. It's I have such a big habit of I'm an optimistic person, but when it comes to daily things, I'll complain a lot just because I'm not thinking about it. And I just, in my mind, it's I'm not complaining. I'm just making an observation about how much I don't like this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think what I'm trying to work towards is every time I find myself complaining, I'll just switch that with saying a good thing instead. And that kind of helps me fix that habit.
Recently, have you ever thought of how complaining can shift you away from God and just drawing closer to him? Because I remember when we noticed that we're complaining a lot, we felt we weren't feeling God.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't feel closer to God at that moment because you felt like you were complaining a lot. And I also, it's not only her, it's also me. So just letting you know, we're both in the same boat. Okay, and so how can we shift that to understanding the blessings God has for us and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. Can I take this to the word? Can I? Do you mind? Okay. Well, yeah. So Proverbs 3. I've also been reading Proverbs. I've read this a while ago, but Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." So I guess this, in the context of complaining, has to do with every time you're complaining about something, like I said, immediately shift that to what you're grateful for. Don't try to just do things on your own.
That passage also speaks upon when you're complaining, you're coming from a place of not trusting God. Is why you don't have enough faith in God. That's why you're leaning onto that negativity. You're in doubt. So you're okay, what's the other alternative to this problem that I'm in? Okay, I'm gonna drop out. You're not trusting on God. And I noticed it when I was going through that phase of my life that I wasn't trusting God because I was I don't know the plans that He has for me. So which is why I'm gonna take this plan into my own hands and then drop out. What? I know.
That's a far step.
I know. And it came from a place of distrust. And which is why this verse is saying, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding, because that's the root of complaining. And when you truly trust in God, that's when you're letting go of the trust in yourself and you're allowing God to take the wheel for you.
I think when you, like you said, start trusting yourself, you also, the farther you lean away from God, the more disobeying you get. What's the word? The more you disobey. Yeah.
Oh.
I complain so much that I can't think of an example.
I have an example.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll say one thing I disobeyed was this podcast actually. God was like, okay, Esther, go film a podcast. But I kept on being like, okay, I'll do it later. Like, it's fine. It's not the time yet. I'll just do it later. It's fine. I'll just do it later. And I kid you not, like a good 2 weeks ago, like God really like pointed it out for me and he was like, what I told you to do, why haven't you done it? He really checked me there, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm here, filming this podcast. So.
I think an example for me about complaining where it turned into like trusting myself, I guess maybe like when it comes to my work and like schoolwork and stuff like that, I'm like, I didn't get as many likes or I didn't get as many views as this person, and then I just start thinking about like, oh, what can I do to get views, what can I do to get likes? And then I make videos and I'm like, well, like, was there any purpose to this? And then like my purpose that God gave me gets lost basically. So I think that's a way where I was like complaining, and then I like strayed away from God, and then led into a bunch of chaos basically, and then the video never gets uploaded.
There are a couple steps that I took into like truly crucifying my complaints, and which was intentionally putting work with my relationship with God, like intentionally taking time out for my solitude, intentionally taking time out to invest in my godly friendships, and also intentionally taking time to worship God in my alone time, my secret space, which is my dorm sometimes. It's
Never.
I think that's like just a way of practicing not complaining, just truly seeking God's face.
I think practicing gratitude daily, like we said, as soon as you have a bad thought, just replace that with what you're thankful for. Being happy with where you are now. Like if I were to look at my video and just be like thankful and happy that I got 100 likes or whatever it may be, then that would prevent me straying away from God. So being content with where you are aligns us with God's path.
Throughout your whole day, just truly inviting God in every space that you're in. Just a simple like, thank you God that I have a phone right now and I'm texting my friend. Simple little task like that really shift your mindset from a negative perspective into a positive perspective.
I think also, like, I know this is kind of cliche, like reading your Bible, but when you read the Bible, it reminds you of all the things that you should be grateful for. And not only that, all the like positive ways you should live your life. And through that, like Proverbs is a really good book to read for how you should be living your life. And after I read Proverbs, which I'm still reading, but I find a lot more joy in my life. Why are you smiling like that?
What? Like what?
You okay?
You like the book Proverbs.
I really do like it. It's like a rule book. It just tells you everything you need to do.
It's my favorite book. I'll say like another way of practicing gratitude is content. And when you're content, you also need to not compare yourself, because comparison is a thief of joy, and not feeling content is from comparison, and not feeling content also leads to complaining. Does that make sense?
Oh,
you compare yourself first, then you're not content,
then it turns into complaining. Yeah,
that's what I was trying to say.
Comparison, content,
then complaining. Yeah. So when you like fix that order, fixing comparing yourself first, which is don't compare yourself. Oh yeah, you want to feel content. So you feel more content, and then that makes you not want to complain. That was very complicated.
It's fine. Text fixes everything. We'll have 3 big words on the screen. Yay,
basically
we finished so fast. This is good. A nice short beginning episode.
Simple. As we conclude today's episode, I just want you guys to reflect on ways that you've been complaining a lot in your life and you haven't been seeing God's face enough. And I just want you to just take some time out and reflect on ways that you've been comparing yourself and the ways that you haven't felt content with your life. Just replace that with gratitude and contentment.
Remember, God's plan is always greater than our own, but it requires us to let go and trust in His process and His timing, and that requires not complaining. And I'm taking this to heart because
we're also learning.
I need to fix myself.
Yeah, and also this podcast is for us to all learn together, us little girls, teenage little girls. Whatever you are, this is just like a space where we can all grow, and we're all learning about God every day, and we just want to share that with you guys. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and may you find peace, joy, happiness, love, whatever it may be. If you have a prayer request, leave it in the comment in the Google Forms down below. And just a little inspo for you guys. Pink means
prayer, integrity, nurture, and kindness.
And all of this just encompasses that we're all women who follow all of that characteristics, and hopefully that we grow together in those ways.
Yeah, I hope you got your daily dose of pink.
Pink.
Oh, you can't really
You can see her pink. It's like she's in her modest journey.
Yeah, I'm in my modest era.
Anyways.
Proverbs 31.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
She said I'm ending this. Bye.